throughout its league area. We pay our respects to all First Nations people and acknowledge elders past, present and emerging.
Hi everyone and welcome to Before the Game, brought to you by Professionals Murray Bridge, and we also have sponsors of the major sponsors of Swampwood Hotel sponsoring the River Murray Football League for this year. Righto, we're coming to you live from Johnston Park, home of the Imperial Football Club. Before the Game, as we said, brought to you by the Professionals, and welcome to the King of the Mallee, Linton Barrett on my left.
Thanks, Silly.
And David Sprocker-Shencher on the right, and we'll just check in. Sprock, what's been on your radar the last couple of weeks? What have you been up to?
Well, I've been away, Shane. I had a bit of a holiday, which was very, very nice, and we went to Canada and Alaska and walked on ice and made snowmen and that sort of stuff, and come back in, it's just as bloody cold. So,
Good on you.
No, it was a good time, and you really enjoyed it. Thanks.
Good spot, went there a few years ago, and certainly saw your photos and reminisced. What about you, Baz? A little bit of precipitation out there?
Yeah, it's a start, mate, but not enough. But yeah, we get what we get. We sort of just keep sowing, and it'll come up when we get enough rain. So yeah, busy farming, but big week with interleague footy, getting that organised. So we've had a selection and met all the coaches, and all the players should have received an email that are in the team or the squad, but it's nearly just a team of 25. They should have received an email last night. If not, the clubs will notify them of their selection. So exciting times ahead.
So it's all about the preparation, and we're talking about the sowing, and we're talking about the interleague. It's all about, and we had a coach, David, back in the 70s and 80s, Warren Schenke, and he used to roll this one out at training: as ye shall sow, so ye shall reap.
Okay. Have Dan Menzel come up with that one yet?
He was a farmer.
Okay. So yeah, that's good.
All right, we'll get on to the rundown here, Baz, and if you want to run through the sponsors for last week and who won the award.
Yep. No worries. So it's on the slide.
Yeah, it's slide. Oh no, yeah, here we are. We've got the slide up. Yep. What's up?
Haven't got 'em.
Oh, the winners.
Oh, sorry, beg your pardon, I'm on channel now. So, the player of the day, Family Fresh Markets. Rory O'Driscoll, I got to see this game, and Rory was outstanding. I reckon he would have had 15 centre clearances. So today's provided by Smiley Cruises, car washes.
Yep.
Yeah, the great man's still cruising around the world.
Shout out to Maddie and Katrina over there.
Yep. Dutton's goal of the day, Jack Oates, was really good last week, was Jack. There's a lot of upside with his footy. McHugh's Bakery Mark of the day, Adam Lee, that was a ripper.
That was a good grab.
That was a good one. Elder's rising star, nephew young Oscar, he's really gone up a peg as probably in the top 5 young ruckman in the league now, I reckon, is young Oscar. Murray Sales Defender of the Day, Tom Keogh was really good. Anytime Fitness Incentive Award, Jimmy Norman, he was really good. Probably played his best game for the Suns.
Well done, Baz. And over to you, Sprocker. Run through the Armorfield TV Awards.
Just one thing I forgot to mention before, Shane.
Yep.
I texted you last week, and I was sitting in a place called Canmore in Canada, which is 14,500 kilometres from here, and I was watching it on my iPhone, the game here at Johnston Park.
Really? Oh, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So it was, that was a highlight for me. 2:30 in the morning over there it was.
Okay.
And I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd just see what's going on.
Tune in.
Tuned in, so that was, should have mentioned that before.
Well, later we'll do a shout out. Me in Harrowfield too. He's in Elliston Hospital, Luke's dad.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, but he'll be joining with the live stream later on.
Yeah, right. So RMFL Scoreboard brought to you by Murray Valley Standard, the Coin Toss and Jimmy's Jug. Hope you got a good one today, Jimmy. Crowie's Paints, quarter time, half time, 3/4 time breaks by Drendel Concrete. Special comments, Eckert Earth Movers, Matt's Quiz, the Ruck and Rover podcast, Chili Chandler and Harry Mansfield. That's always a good time. And the major sponsor, Swampwood Hotel. Thanks very much.
All right, and the league awards, and we have a slide for this for the Dutton's goal kicker. Run through that. So leading the league, Johnny Boris, 22 goals. He's kicked 19 in the last 2 games, believe it or not. Cody Crollig for the Roos on 16. Ben Hansen from the Bloods, 15. Dan Menzel, 14 from the Cats. In the reserve, Simon Newchurch and James Lawson, both on 14. Josh Inoy, 13. And Graydon Brand from the Roos, 11. In the under-18s, Jackson Denver, he's sitting on 26, so he's out of the blocks. Brock Pedler from the Eagles, he's always up there, 14. In the under-15s, Dominic Groves from the Bloods on 22, and Bryce Reid also from the Bloods, 19. So the under-15s out there kicking a few goals there. In the under-13s, Archie Nichols from the Suns on 15, and TJ Hancock's from Ramblers is on 10. Player of the year, Baz?
Okay, from the Mallee Districts, Turon Cats game, Seb Kurish with 3, Adam Smythe with 2, and Ken Jacobs 1. Man of the Imps, Jack Tennerfold, 40-odd possessions, I hear.
Apparently, the room has it.
Yeah,
47.
so great effort, 3 points for Jack, 2 to Will Crane and 1 to Mitch Carroll. Ramblers v Maipo, Reed Culler continues on his great form, 3 votes. Alfie Golan 2, Jordan Hine 1. From the Taylor Suns game, Josh Misson was outstanding with 3, Roy O'Driscoll 2, Brody Edwards with 1 vote. So the leaders, Reed Culler, he's on 8, Josh Misson 7, Ben Hansen 6, Brody Edwards, along with Brody Edwards and Roy O'Driscoll.
Good on you, Baz. Sprocker, over to you for the Chemist King Club of the Year.
Yeah, important award, isn't it? The club all does well. Manama up the top there with 30, Southern Mallee with 25, the Cats with 25, Jervois 23, Taylor 22, Waipo 19, Imps 18, Ramblers 16 and the Mallee Storm on 14.
And the Swampwood Hotel ladder, Baz.
Okay, we've got the Cats on 8, Suns on 6, Manham 6, Jervois 6, Imps 4, Taylor Ben 4, Maipo 4, Ramblers 2, and the Storm not haven't registered a point yet.
Okay, I just want to point out too, we did have a fair technical challenge when we first set up, so we've had to back up and start on another computer, so you may not see the same graphics you normally would or replays or anything later on in the live stream, so just bear with us. We're doing our best. We were fortunate enough to get one interview. We couldn't get Ray O'Donnell from Ramblers. Unfortunately, he was running late. But we did interview the 500-game veteran for Imperials, Ash Denby, and we caught that earlier. He's out here running around getting a kick now, and here's what he had to say. Appears in senior footy for the 5th time in River Murray footy. Big day ahead of you, Ash, and I hope it all goes well, and good to see you dress up in your kit for us. We're just running a bit behind, so appreciate you having to quickly slip in and help us. So it's been a while since you started juniors at Maipo, Ash, and
Yep.
who were your coaches back then? What were your early memories?
Oh, sorry. Not a lot of early memories there actually, but I know I had Gary Hodge there for a while. I think it might have been under 17s maybe, somewhere there, but yeah, trying to look back and remember, I just couldn't find much. It was such a long time ago.
And highs and lows along the way?
I guess the highs would have to be the 09 and 011 A-grade grand finals flags. Probably the low was losing a grand final to Jervois in the last 10 seconds of a game, and breaking my leg last year and sort of set me back. And that's probably a couple of the big lows.
Yeah, I didn't realise that about your leg last year. Back in 03, you came over to the Blues. What made you choose Imps over, there's other clubs in the league, but...
I think Fisher approached me,
yeah.
Paul Fisher approached me to come to Imps, and obviously Tony Filkey had a fair bit to do with that, and it sort of got me over here, and away we went from there.
Good stuff. Challenging, your life and work and footy and family life. What's been the hardest thing to try and get to the track?
I guess I've always sort of probably made it a bit of a priority, probably too much at times, or I used it as an outlet to get away from work and things like that, and obviously big family things took priority, but it was always my outlet to come out and exert a bit of energy and meet different people, and just hang around with the boys a bit.
Beautiful. Life after flight. Hang on, keys to your longevity, Ash. You're 47-year-old, and I can remember at 47 I was a bit more overdone than what you are. What sort of on the horizon past hanging up the boots?
I haven't really thought that far ahead at this stage. It's game by game, and it's kind of in a way it's a bit of a scary thought too, because I've been doing this for so long. we'll just play it by ear and just see what happens. I think.
And obviously, apart from injury last year, you've been pretty injury-free, so that's a key to probably come back out. But you keep yourself pretty fit as well. Is it your line of work, or is it just your physical makeup?
Oh, I think it's a bit of both. I don't really sit around doing not much either, a lot of the time. Obviously, I've had to look after my body a bit different as I've got older. Probably, stopped a lot of road running and stuff that I used to do a lot of. You just got to do what's right for you and work it out in the end.
I stopped the road running, and I feel a lot better for it, Ash.
No doubt.
10 quick questions. Age,
47.
middle name,
Paul,
favourite position,
centre,
nickname.
Ash,
Well, what celebrity are you taking on a date?
Amy Shark.
Amy Shark. Most famous number in your phone?
I will say Jack Daniels.
Favourite TV show?
The Mechanic.
Who do you barrack for in the AFL?
Carlton.
TikTok, Insta or Facebook?
Insta.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Single,
Definitely.
married or partner?
Married.
And what car are you driving?
Ranger.
Ford Wildtrak. There we go. That's it. Thanks for our 500 big ones. All the best. Get 100 kicks, mate.
Thanks very much,
Good on
guys.
you. Back to you guys.
See
That was Ash Tenby, and he's had plenty of media attention this week. The Murray Valley Standard, good sponsors of ours. The Advertiser Day was an article. We've had him here in the interview. He's done all sorts. He's been a busy boy. He's been doorstop more times than Peter Malinowski does.
Now, is it right that he has a hot bath before each game, and also heard he drinks 2 litres of Coke? Is that a myth?
You know all that. It's proper.
He used to drink iced coffee like it was going out of fashion.
Okay.
But now he's given up on that, so that's what he broke his leg last year. He didn't have enough calcium in his system, he said, so
righto.
he missed a few
I
games.
know he's partial to Jim Beam.
Yeah, he loves a gym.
That's after the game.
Yeah.
All right, good on you, Ash. Rural City Murray Sports Awards. There's a slide that Murray hopefully has found. Yeah, there it is there. So Craig Kent is driving this as part of his role on the Rural City Murray Bridge. And I know Rural City Murray Bridge doesn't go all the way up in all the boundaries in the league, but there's 4 clubs out here that are involved, and there's some special awards. They're nominated. They've got to be in by June 30, and it's around Sportsperson of the Year nomination, Junior Sportsperson of the Year. There's volunteer categories. There's about 11 different categories. So I said we'll give a shout out to give that a bit of promotion for the coming Sports Awards. And there's a function, I think, around October. They haven't really planned a final date or a venue at this stage. So you've got to keep an eye on the socials, especially Rural City of Murray Bridge. All right, new segment. What needs fixing, Sprocker? In your view, what would you do? What would you fix?
If I could, I'd love to fix junior numbers in the competition. We all know that there's a lack of numbers in every grade in the juniors for every club. It's an ongoing problem. It's just getting worse and worse. If I had the answer, I'd give it to you, Shane, but I haven't. But if there's anybody out there who's got an answer who can get back to us and say, how do we fix the junior numbers, I'd love to hear it.
Good one. I like that.
Excellent. As RMFL exec, that's one we discuss all the time, Dave. And we haven't got an answer.
No.
I think the younger groups, Auskick and a good job there, and it's sort of even up to the 13s, but then we start to lose them. And we've got to work out why. We've got to have serious discussions. Is it too expensive, or is it too rough, or too much travelling? What is it? And then work through it, because our 18s competitions are kind of a bit of a shock.
It's very much so, isn't it? Yeah.
Good one. As.
Yeah, I talk about this one a lot, and it's a salary cap. It's a system that we have to have. I don't think we just can it and say it's just open slather, but I think it needs rejigging. And I reckon where we start is at SANFL level with the league and reserve side. Those fellas that are, or reserves player that's training 4 or 5 nights a week and getting $100, that just does not cut it, and they will not do that for a long period of time. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'll use young Hamish Dow as an example. I think he's 19, something like that, doing really good things at West Adelaide. Got second best in the reserves last week. If he doesn't get a senior game in a year or two's time, he's getting offers from everyone in the state to come out and play for lots. It'll be $600 or $700 at least. All right. So
Maximum is $650 plus travel. Plus travel.
Righto.
So we said 6 or 700.
Okay. Then. Yep. Yep.
That's what's written down in the regs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so young Hamish is under a lot of pressure, and he needs to make a living and pay the bills. So he heads out to the country, and on it goes. So we just got to start working at the top. Well, the top is the AFL. The AFL have got to fund their SANFL in some way, shape, or form, so that they can afford to keep the better players in Adelaide, and then it filters down from there. Because at the moment, it is getting out of hand.
All right, so Spock started at local, you went to Sandford,
Yep.
and I'm going to AFL. What I would fix, if you've been living under a rock, you probably wouldn't know that there's a huge disconnect between the leaders of the AFL and what's actually going on. And the last issue with that Lockie Schultz and the umpire debacle around, I honestly, I can't believe that an organisation that probably employs 20 lawyers and so many head honchos, are so top heavy, can get something so badly wrong. And then to send out memos, a first out memo and then two reneges and the change of the memo. But
Amateur.
I honestly, that needs fixing. And they say about the umpiring, it's not the umpiring that's wrong. It's the rules that they're trying to ask them to administer.
Yeah.
The way they want them to interpret is ridiculous. You can throw the ball now, as long as you're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you don't dispose of it. Like if a good tackle will cause you to dislodge and get rid of it. That good tackle should be rewarded with holding the ball, not a throw. In the back, it's big beef of mine.
Yeah.
Don't put hands in the back.
Yeah.
Any hands in the back, bang, free kick. They'll stop doing it.
I think, Snelly, we've gone away from the basic rules of football.
Well, we
and
grew
we've
up,
got
yeah.
we've got this stand rule and all that going
Yeah.
on. And it's just that it's too hard to adjudicate a game of football, and things have got to change. I reckon they've got to scale it back, just not make it harder than what it already
I
is.
had a theory when I umpired a few games back in the day. It was too high, it's in the back, it's holding the ball, or it's hanging on.
Yeah.
And occasionally you had a trip thrown in there,
Yeah.
and it was as simple as that.
Yeah, exactly,
You know,
yeah.
And as long as you can stand back and watch the game as an umpire, it's not that damn hard.
No.
But like you say, they complicate it so much with all these grey areas as to what's what.
Interpretation,
Yeah.
like last touch.
They won't do it. They won't use it. They'd hate to follow something that was led up by the Sandford.
Well, someone's going to win a grand final
See last
from
night?
adjudication. I did.
They're out in the guns on the full,
Off of McGovern.
and they had good clear footage of it.
Yeah.
You've got people sitting up in that so-called box, whatever they got,
Yeah.
looking at goals, touch, that sort of thing. How can they see that hit the ground first before it went out?
And then we've got the Cosy Pickett one, actually grabbed hold of his leg and pulled him up, and we're playing on, and the Hawthorn bloke goes and picks the ball up, and I'm sure he wanted to give it to Pickett and say, mate, that's a free kick for you. How do they miss things
I'm
like
pretty
that?
sure the Hawthorn guy had a handful of red sock. Anyway, we've got to move on and mention the professionals. Thanks to David and Karen, and beautiful little cover they've given us here, a bit of shade from the little bit of rain we've had. So thanks very much to professionals again. All right, we'll go to the Facebook pages, guys, and we'll start off with the Coorong Cats. And they've got a merch portal that they've released out there. So all your Cats fans, if you want to get a top or whatever, you go onto that site. And over to you, Baz.
Yep, at Imps, we've got Taj Garrett, who's in the state under-16 squad, so well done, young man. He's a ripper, that lad. He'll go a
2 years in
long
a
way.
row for him, so it's a great feather in his cap.
Stocker.
Evergreen Jack Plusky plays his Trumpets game day at Jervois, so well done to Jack. Great sub man out there.
And the Storm are running a bit of a membership drive for non-playing members, $50. So see Dave Slade, Bruce or Dion Kerr. So there you go.
Yep, out at Manham, after today's game, the match prezos will be at the Murray Bridge Club.
And Michael are holding their Sponsors Day on July the 5th, so no doubt the information will get out to all the sponsors. And Rams have got their reverse raffle drawn tonight, people.
They might be reversing out the gate after the game.
Hopefully.
Tails between them, no way.
Yeah.
Southern Valley Suns, work and be at Pinaroo. Will you be there for that, Baz? I mean, how did you go doing a work and be at Pinaroo back in the day?
Back in the day, I certainly wouldn't have, but now things have changed dramatically. They're actually not bad people up at Pinaroo, so I'll probably get there and give them a hand.
I can't imagine me and Griffo going, or you, Spocker, going over to the grandstand at Ramblers and giving that a sweep and a mop and recoding that, could you?
No.
No. Taylor Bend, yes, Baz?
Yeah, at Taylor Bend, photo match day was last week.
Cool, all right. Now this is when Shane goes off his medication. 2 weeks ago we did a section where at the end of the game, when a player kicks a goal, Charlie Cameron from the Bears. He goes, what's the song? Country Roads, I think they play. And
John
they got all different music. Anyway, so I rolled out my thoughts on Imps and the Storm 2 weeks ago. So I'll just go through who I think Ramblers, which could be some of their songs. First one is Jacob Trevorrow. The sun will come out. Trevorrow.
I didn't know you were going to sing.
I thought he was going to play some audios.
Yeah, so did I. Wow.
This is a good one. This is for Dutchy Holland by Musical Youth. Past the Dutchy on the left-hand side.
Yeah,
Past the
yeah.
Dutchy. He's number 31. He's number 31.
Yeah, good, Shane.
This is Jesse Pate.
You got too much time on your hands, mate.
This is don't upset my rhythm. I'm on a roll, and the meds start kicking. So okay, Jesse Pate, Jesse's Girl by Rick Springfield. Jesse is a friend, yeah, no, he's been a good friend of mine, but lately something changed and he ain't hard to define. Jesse's got himself a girl and I want to make her mine. I wish I had Jesse's girl.
Well done, Shane.
Where can I find a woman like that? And the last one, there's probably not really a connection, because I was trying to think the name Max Marchetti, but there's a singer called Max Merritt and the Meteors.
Yeah, there is too, yeah.
Whoa, slipping away from me, 'cause she's breaking me in two, watching you, slipping away. That's that bit.
Thanks, Shane.
Okay, where are we up to?
Hoodie,
Rock
come
Rover.
home, please. Come home quickly. Now.
Okay, now we're up to the Rock and Rover podcast update. Now, for the Rock and Rover again, they just released their latest one. I think it's episode 13, and they interviewed Kai Martin, who is doing all sorts of great stuff in the area of domestic violence for the community, and he's doing a run. He's running 325 kilometres, starting at the Federation Trail, but he's starting in Clare and running back to Murray Bridge. So it's 202 miles, and there is, if you get on the podcast page, and there's a link that Chili posted up where you can donate. I donated $50 last night to him. He's got 17,500. He wants to get to 25,000, and 3 days he reckon it'll take him, and he probably won't sleep the whole 3 days.
Wow. It's a huge
So
That's
yeah,
100 k's a day.
yeah, that's what he's trying to do.
Good on him.
And just one stat on DV, which I'll just run, and we had Kai on him before talking about domestic violence. 70 women in Australia were murdered last year, and that's 1.2 or 3 a week. That's too many. So yeah, just keep that stat and remember, this money will go direct to domestic violence victims here in Murray Bridge in his area. So well done to Kai, and we wish him well next week. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. Okay, now we go to this week's games,
Yeah.
and we'll start off with you, Baz, Maipalonga and Tailem Bend.
Yeah, so injury-riddled Maipo. They're just finding a way to get over the line at the moment before the troops come back. Riley Robertson will be out for an extended period, and obviously Roy Taggart out for a while too with an elbow. So they've just got to find a way, and I actually think they will. Tailem for mine last week, got to watch this game firsthand, and they were a bit disappointing. I just think they lack a little bit of on-field leadership. When things aren't quite going the right way, they take too long to react. Rory O'Driscoll just cut them up for far too long. No one wanted to go to him. They're a talented group, you know, young Fraser McDonald and Nate Chandler, and there's a lot of talent out there, but just not sure of, you know, gelling together at the moment. They'll have their SANFL lads back this weekend. Sam Watt, I really look forward to the way Sam goes about it. But I just think Maipo at home just a little strong.
Spocker?
Yeah, I think Reid Cooler, you know, he's a gun, isn't he? And I just don't think Tailem Bend got anyone that could go with him, and he just gets it too many times. And yeah, so he'll do enough for Maipo to get over the line, I think.
And the other one I was going to mention, Maipo too, is taken over for him out there. He's probably almost a carbon copy of Reid. Is Jordan Hine.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's in really good form too, from what I'm told. So
Captain
yeah,
at a young age.
doing really, really well. He's a ball magnet too. Seems to be able to find it a lot. So yeah, look, I did have Tana making the 5 earlier in the year. Obviously they lost Westhoff very early, and that's hurt him a lot. So, but I'll still go for Maipo. I think they'll be probably too strong out at the Orchard. Okay, we'll go to the Coorong Cats versus Manning Sprocker. You can tee us off there.
Yeah, well, Kieran Cats, they seem to be a step above everyone else, don't they? And Manham last week, a bit disappointing from what I saw on the scoreboard. So, yeah, I think the Kieran Cats at home, it's played down at Meningie, they'll clean up down there pretty well, I think. Too many good players.
Yeah. For mine, this is a game that Manham just have to. Scoreboard will take care of itself, but they got to show something. I thought early in the season they might struggle, and then I saw them firsthand. We're really impressed. But yeah, they've got to really challenge the Cats. I don't think they'll win, but it's not about that. It's about how close they can get to the top side, and then they've got to challenge the 2 or 3 underneath that if they want to play finals. But yeah, Cats will be too strong, but a lot rides on how Manham go about this.
Do you know how far Chad Rescue is away?
Yeah, I do. He won't play this week. Yeah, hoping to play the following week, but yeah, it's a 6-week hamstring.
So then you probably won't get him for interleague.
We will give him every opportunity.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, look, I saw Manham first hand last week, and I actually did the stats for Imperials, and they only had about 10 or 11 tackles per quarter against, but it's a bit hard to get tackles up when your team's got the ball rather than the opposition. And it's a fairly bruise-free game. Look, it's very, it's like at Manham, it's very open. It was a sunny day, and there's a lot of open runs. So Manham started off, got out of the blocks really well. I thought this is going to be good, and I thought this is going to be a tight match. But yeah, I think whether just a testament to Imps, they really dominated play and just shared the ball really well and everything like that. But look, yeah, the Cats, they've taken all before them. They'll take no prisoners, and we know. We've documented this goes a mile deep.
It does, and they've probably got 3 of their top 5 and their best and fairest to come back in.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Unbelievable.
we haven't seen the best yet.
We're queuing up to get a game. So, no, Cats pretty well by me. Baz, Jervois versus the Storm.
Yeah,
It's at a peak, I think, isn't it?
No, that one's at Jervois.
Oh, Jervois, of
yeah,
course,
which is a pity. So last week, obviously, the Storm were a lot better. You got to win, but I think they would take almost a win out of that, getting so close to the Cats. Unfortunately for them, though, they come up against Jervois, rested after a bye at Jervois. Probably the hardest game they could possibly have got after a good effort. If they come up against a lesser side, they could have really challenged. They'll challenge for a little while, but Jervois will be too strong. I know they've really primed themselves for this game to kick a big score. They've only been kicking, your 7 or 8s and that, but they control the game really well by doing that way. But I reckon today they try a bit of a free-flowing game, and the Storm just will not be strong enough to stop that.
Sprocker.
Yeah, I think, especially played at Jervois, and the weather we're looking at over our shoulders here, it's going to be pretty wet and windy out there at Jervois, isn't it? So the Storm will be competitive like they were last week. I only saw the scores, and I thought, well, they're in the game, but they still lost by 6 goals, 7 goals, didn't they? So, so they'll take something out of that, and whether they can bottle it up out at Jervois and make it a real hard contest, but Jervois will just get on the outside too often and score enough to win the game.
Yeah, Jervois too strong for me. Ben Hanson's obviously come back and boosted them as well. He'll probably want to get on the end of the field. He'll probably try and kick 8 or 9 goals, probably.
He's actually having a spell today.
He's having a spell? Well, there you go. So, so that's how confident they are.
Yeah.
Jervois, very convincing winners for me. And to the game behind us here, Impson home to Ramblers. Sprocker, what do you got to say about that one?
Well, just looking again, Imps have sort of got the game flowing a bit last couple of weeks, haven't they? They've the boys, the recruits that they've brought in, I think Cam Ball really strengthened up their back line and sort of held things firm for them, and the other 2 Carroll boys are starting to find their feet through the running game and getting things moving, and Johnny Boris up forward's a hard man to stop, isn't he? So
it's the barometer, isn't it? If he's kicking 10 and 9, then the team's pretty strong.
And I like young Pakey's come back to the club, and the way he works really hard across half forward. We've got 2 good focal points up there at the forward line that we can go to. And of course, there's plenty of good ball users.
Sandwich slips under the radar.
Sandwich, and Jack, Penfold, Will Crane with his deadly left foot. There's lots of good players there, and I think they'll get the job done over Ramblers. They've still got a very young side, haven't they? And apart from the old man, Jared Wayland, the rest of them are good young lads.
Riley Vance is still another week away. I just talking in half issue, so he's got to come back, and they've lost 5 probably for the year.
Yeah, well, that's a big blow.
He's got a long-term injury.
They just don't have too many tools, do they? And Imps are probably looking as tall as they've ever looked for a long time. So.
Yeah, exactly. Baz?
I've said it all. Dave, I reckon Alex Fife and Cody Zeus not playing is just the experience, you can't replace that. They're a young group, but I actually can see where they're going. you know, they've got to get through this year, be as good as they possibly can be, and get a couple of wins, a bit of confidence, recruit strongly next year, and I think they're on the up. I can see what Ray's trying to do with them. But today they come up against the inside, which I was probably a bit harsh on to start with. I just thought against the two better sides, Jervois and the Cats, they come up a bit short. But with the ins that they've got now and the style of footy they want to play, and I think they've worked out who's in and who's an outside. It took a little while. Playing Jack back, I don't reckon that was a good idea. I reckon he needs to be up. And
He went,
you know,
went forward in the middle
yeah.
last week. And
When Jack gets it, the next one's got to be Johnny Boras or Young Pakey. So they'll just be too good. But I hope Imps could put it up for a half. But in the end, quality will show out.
I think the Blues will be too strong, Doug. I think blessing in disguise. They went zipping two, zipping 4. Well, they lost the first 2. They had a bye, so the 0 from 3 the first 3 rounds. So, and I think it really was a wake-up call.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably sparked them into some activity now, and they know that they're going to make up some ground on the premiership table. And I think it's put them in the right frame mentally, and following the instructions of the coach. And they're really using the ball well, so I think the Blues will be too strong today, and I think Johnny will probably get another 5 or 6 bag at least. I'll take a few off because of the weather. Next week's live stream game is out at Mannum. The Roos host Jervois, so we'll see you out there for that one. And it's time for the quiz. Captain's quiz, I call it, not Matt's quiz. If he's not around, he's not going to get a mention. So Cattles, please. Jimmy. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy.
And Jimmy. So, righto, now have we got Jimmy in frame, have we? We got him. Okay, beautiful. Now test your buzzers. David. Sprock. Baz. Jimmy. All right. Now this is a quiz brought to you by the Ruck and Raver, Chili and Harry Mansfield there. So good luck, contestants. Your time starts now. Question 1. How many goals has Johnny Boris kicked in the last 2?
19.
19, correct. 10 plus 9.
I thought it was only 8.
19. Question 2. What margin did the Crows win last week's showdown by?
4. About
David?
4 points.
No, incorrect. Jimmy?
2.
Incorrect.
I'll go 5.
5 is correct, Baz. So, better give... Oh, hang on. I've got the... Baz. I've got to change the names here. Sprock. This is exciting. Just keep yourself busy, everyone at home. Sprock's got 1. Baz has got 1. Jimmy get the score. Okay, where are Mannum on the premiership table in league?
Sprock. 6.
No.
Jimmy.
Yep.
5.
No. All the rest up to you.
Yeah. I slipped a bit. I'm going to go 4th.
No, incorrect. 3. So no one got that one right.
Yeah.
Question 4. What year was RMFL TV's first live stream match? Jimmy?
2019.
Correct, Jimmy. You're on the board. 1 apiece. Which SNFL game development officer debuted for West Adelaide SANFLW last weekend? Now, Linton, you need a good hard look at yourself. You should know this.
I should know this. I can't remember her name. I know what she looks like.
No?
No.
Kayla Mudge.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
The Rock and Rover podcast are sponsors of the quiz. Name at least 3 special guests they've had so far. Come on, don't you listen to the pod?
No.
Sprock.
Yes, right.
Stevie Sumner.
Correct.
Kai Martin.
Yes, correct.
And just play for Jervois with the beard. Coach.
Josh Calder,
Josh
correct.
Calder, yeah.
Sprock.
Oh, hang on there.
Whoa. That's all right. Hang on, everyone. So, Sprock, you get a point for that. So you're leading 2 to 1 each. The other ones they've had on there, Darcy Harrigan, Ben Hanson, Ray and Ori Love, Nick O'Malley, Tom Klasky, Jacob Rance, Alex Pfeiffer, Nick Greasy Pierce. Wow. We better get this show going. What year did Meningi, as the Bears pre-Cats time, last win a league premiership?
No, he's Jimmy. It's out at Jervis.
D16?
No.
Right, 14.
14's correct, Sprock. So Sprock, you're on 3. Baz 1.
I should have gone 2, but that's all right.
Are you?
Yeah. Not counting.
Yeah, you
Okay,
got
I'll
it.
trust you.
go.
Who was the Rambler Football Club's last league male medalist? Sprock.
Malachi Continuous.
Correct. Last year.
I should have that one.
Thought that was a tricky one.
Yeah.
All right. Who is the preferred cruise line used by Smiley Car Wash directors Matt and Katrina Hood?
What? Royal Caribbean?
No.
Cunard?
Jimmy? Royal Caribbean?
Jim. No.
I got no idea.
No. Oh, gee whiz.
MSC, Norwegian, Cunard.
Celebrity Cruise?
Okay, I'll give you a hint. Lady Diana. No, no such thing as Spencer Cruises.
That doesn't help. Well,
Princess, come on, you know. Come on, Cats. Play who and where this afternoon?
Baz?
Baz?
They play Manham at Meningi.
Right, so there's a mover there. Sprock on 4, Baz on 3, Jimmy 1.
yeah, I should put that
But I'll tell you,
away.
Jimmy, if you get to Who Am I, I'm going to give you the whole competition, all right? You're going to get
Charity.
four bonus points to the win. I was born on April the 5th, 1990 in Victoria. I attended Oberon High School in the suburb of Armstrong Creek, where I played junior footy at local club Anglesea. In 2007, I won 100 metre and 400 metre titles at the Victorian Secondary Schoolboys Athletics, and the same year toured South Africa as part of an AFL academy. I played in National Under-18 Championships via the Geelong Falcons and was drafted to the Adelaide Crows. Can't believe you haven't done it. I was traded to Geelong in 2016 and have since compiled following achievements.
That would be Patrick Dangerfield.
Patrick Dangerfield, 8 all-time All-Australian, Premiership 22, Brownlow 2016. Thanks to Mary Lou under adversity today, Jimmy, Soph, Ken, Harry's mate, Griffo, for
Just-
Patrick.
Just speaking of birthdays, can I give a shout out to my daughter turns 30 today?
Oh,
Larissa.
Larry.
Yeah, Larry.
Larry's 30. Good on you,
30.
Larry. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sweetheart.
That's it. We'll pack up and we'll be back here for the live stream at 2:30. Don't go away.